All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday's Core Prep. Today, we're going to go through some flexion. We went through extension last weekend, so I figured we'll follow that up with some flexion this weekend. Just mostly, again, going through the different positions or the different orientations of gravity from standing to seated to sideline to prone to supine. I just want you to feel things out, see how it feels, feel whether or not it's a little tougher in certain positions. Obviously, it will be only because of your orientation to gravity, but see whether or not you're getting the same range of motion. So when the orientation to gravity changes and it makes it a little more difficult to go into full flexion, can you still do it? Okay. So we'll work through that to start with. We'll go back through. I want to do a bunch of isometric stuff today. So basically just working through some light isometrics in different positions just to see whether or not we can get anybody that has some lower back stiffness or anything like that that you may have attained over the last couple of days or over the weekend. Maybe we can loosen that up a little bit and make your Sunday a little bit more enjoyable. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. By the way, if you want to grab a band or a small dumbbell or plate, we'll probably utilize that just a little bit, not a ton today. And it doesn't really matter which one you have. I'll go over both variations. That way that you have an idea of how to use it. But for the most part, you're just going to need your body. So let's get started. So from here, I just want you to put your hands on your shoulders, feet about shoulder width apart. And then from here, all I want you to think about is the top of your ribs. If you take your fingers and you start to feel how the ribs just kind of slide up and they apex right here, at the bottom of your sternum. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take that point to, if you feel down here below my belly button's here. So if you push your hand down, you'll find a little ridge right there. All right. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the top part of my rib cage and I'm trying to bring it closer to that ridge on my pelvis. Okay. So from here, I'm just squeezing down and then coming back up, squeezing down and coming back up. So I'm not bending at the hips. So if I do it from the side, okay, you can see as I crunch down, like my butt isn't flying back and I'm not getting hip flexion with this. It's just down and up, down and up. And this shouldn't be too tough because gravity is actually pulling you in that direction and up. But I just want you to be able to feel it. And I want you to be able to try to take your hips out of it as much as possible. Just up and then back down, and then up and then back down. Now, these next couple, what I want you to do is I really want you to breathe out as you go down. So breathe out, really force all that air out. And then on the way up, I want you to breathe through your nose. And then blow all the way out. And then breathe in through the nose. And then blow out. And back up. Okay. So we'll switch to seated. So if you got a chair, you can use a chair. If you got something that gets you up off the ground because you don't want to sit, it's totally fine. If you do want to sit, you can do that as well. But we're going to grab something. We're going to stay nice and tall. I'm going to keep my legs out in front. If you need to bend your knees because you don't have a chair and it takes a little bit of pressure off your back, go ahead and bend your knees. Basically, I'm going to sit up nice and tall. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of tuck and then extend up. I'm going to tuck and extend up, tuck and extend up, tuck and extend up. Okay, so I'll switch this way so you can see from the side. I'm just going to tuck and extend up, tuck and extend up. So the next couple, I want you to really breathe out through your mouth on the way down And then through your nose on the way up. Breathe out. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out. In through the nose. Perfect. All right. So from here, if you're already on the ground, we're just going to roll over to your right hip. If you're on your chair, you probably want to grab your mat, or if you got a table, whatever you want to lay on. But we're going to go sideline. Okay. I'm on my right side. I'm going to put my hands across my chest. My legs are going to be straight. Okay. Stacking my feet. From here, I'm just going to crunch down just like we were when we were seated. So I don't want to let my hips drive back behind me. Okay, I want to keep my hips in the same exact spot, and I just want to crunch down, and I want to extend back. Now, when I extend back, we're just coming back to neutral, okay? We're not getting full extension through the spine. So it's just here, crunch down, bring it up, crunch down, bring it up, crunch down, bring it up. Now, these next couple, I want you to blow out through your mouth on the way down, breathe in from your nose on the way up. So let's get 3 of those. So blow out. Perfect. I'm going to switch over to the other side. Arms across again. Okay. So I just want to see, what do I have? Crunching down, bring it back. Crunching down, bring it back. Couple more of these. Cool. Last 3, I want to blow out through my mouth on the way down, breathe in through my nose on the way up. So really try to expel all that air as you get to the bottom, all right? So blowing out. Perfect. All right, let's flip over on our backs. All right. We're on our backs. We're going to go feet straight out. If you need to bend your knees so that your lower back feels a little better, go ahead and bend your knees, okay? But from here, again, I'm just going to put my hands on top of my shoulders, and I'm going to crunch up. And again, I'm trying to take that apex of my rib cage right to this little ridge of my hip here. So notice, like, I'm not coming up off the ground, so you don't see the middle of my back coming up off the ground. I'm just coming up, squeeze, back down. What do you got? All the way up, back down, all the way up, back down. So from here, the last 3, blow all the air out on the way up, breathe in through the nose on the way down. Perfect. All right, I'm going to sit back up. We're going to go prone, but we're going to go prone on all 4s, okay? So what I want you to do is, we're going to get on all 4s here. We're going to keep our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, okay? From here, now, you don't want to have your hands too far out in front of you, because what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to curl and I'm going to crunch, okay? I'm going to try to bring that apex of my sternum, right to that ridge again. So you're actually going to see how my back's going to round, and I'm going to really squeeze it down. I want to tuck my chin and then back to neutral. Neutral meaning we're not going into extension. So you see how my hips drop and you start to see that arch in my back. So just going back to neutral, I'm going to squeeze, really make it big, and then relax. Squeeze up and relax. Squeeze up and relax. A couple more of these. Squeeze up and relax. Squeeze up and relax. All right. So from here, the next three, we're going to blow out as you start to really bring that arch around that back, and then we're going to breathe through our nose back to neutral. Okay. So blow all the way out. Perfect. All right. So those are all of our positions. So if you've got a band, why don't you go ahead and grab a band, okay? If you got a towel, you can do the same thing with a towel. If you've got a dumbbell, I'll show you how to tweak this a little bit with the dumbbell. But the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to kind of walk ourselves out with our band a little bit higher. And all we're doing is we're going to crunch down and we're going to really squeeze our abdominal area as we do this. And we're going to try to make this as short as we can, okay? And we're going to just hold it for 6 seconds and then relax. Let everything take a few breaths down. We're going to squeeze for 6 seconds. So if you've got your dumbbell, you can kind of just hold it here, and same thing. We're just squeezing down and then up, okay? So let's get 6 good reps of this where we're just adding a little resistance. If you don't want to add resistance, don't. If this felt a little stiff for you, just let gravity do what it does, okay, and push you down, but control it. And we're going to breathe into it. So make sure you're breathing, you're not holding your breath, but we're getting a good contraction right here in the abdominal area, and then right back up. And then back down, nice and slow. Really squeeze those abs. 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. And squeeze it back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back up. And squeeze it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. And squeeze it down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one here. This one I want you to breathe into. So blow all the way out. So blowing out through the mouth on the way down. Hold it, and then through the nose on the way up. And relax. Perfect. So I'm going to switch my band here, okay, so I can get it a little bit lower. If you have your chair, go ahead and grab your chair. We're going to go seated next, okay? And I'll just stay sideline so you guys can see. I'm just taking my band here, kind of the same thing. I'm bringing it over my shoulders, feet out, nice and tall, and I'm just squeezing down, and I'm just holding it, okay? 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. Back up, take a breath, make sure you're breathing through this. Crunch down, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. Back up, take a few breaths. Back down, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. back up, few breaths, back down, 1001, really squeeze it down, 1004, 1005, 1006. All right, let's breathe into these last two. So all the way out on the way down. So blow out the mouth. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then through the nose on the way up. And then out the mouth. And hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And through the nose. And relax. Perfect. All right. So let's go sideline. I'm going to start on my left side since I'm already closer. Okay. I'm going to bring my arms across the chest. Now, this is going to be this one's a little more difficult only because my shoulder's on the ground, so it's creating friction anyway. All right. If you want to add a little resistance, just bring the band a little bit lower and pull it to your shoulder. If you want to take like a little plate and hold it across your chest, you can. Okay. Or arms across the chest. And then from here, we're trying to stay straight up and down, right? So I'm coming from here and I'm just squeezing down and I'm holding 4, 5, 6, and I'm coming back. Take a couple breaths. Make sure you're breathing through these, all right? Don't be holding your breath. All the way down, squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back up. All the way down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back up. Do one more, and then we're going to breathe through the last two. So all the way down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Back up. Now, on the way down, blow it out. Everything through your mouth, and then on the way up, everything through your nose. So make sure you're breathing all the way out. Okay, so all the way out. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and then through the nose, and then out the mouth. Hold it, and then through the nose. All right, so we're going to flip over to our other side. I'll go this way so you don't have to see my backside. Okay, same thing. Okay, just normal. From here, we're going to crunch down, hold it for 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back up. Breathe. Then from here, we're going to crunch down, hold it for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back up. And down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back up. Let's do one more here, and then we'll go through breathing last two. Squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Last two, we're going to breathe through. So all the way out of your mouth on the way down, all the way through your nose on the way up. Make sure you hold it at the bottom. So blow out. And through the nose. And out through the mouth. And through the nose. Perfect. All right, I'm going to flip over on my back. So again, if you want to go knees bent, you can go knees bent. If you want to go legs straight, you can go legs straight. But from here, I'm just going to crunch up, and we're going to hold for 6. And then relax. I'm going to come up and hold for 6. And relax. Let's get 2 more of these. Crunch up. And relax. Crunch up. And relax. Last 2, we're going to breathe. So breathing all the way out on the way up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then through the nose. And then blow out through the mouth. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And through the nose on the way down. Perfect. Awesome. So flip over. Put our knees right underneath our hips, hands directly under the shoulders, or maybe even slightly further back, like towards your knees, depending on how much range you actually have. So from here, again, I'm not letting my hips sink, okay? We're just kind of in this neutral spine position, just meaning it's not excessively extended and it's not excessively flexed. It's somewhere in the middle that's comfortable, okay? So from here, again, we're gonna tuck the chin, we're gonna crunch, and we're gonna hold 3, 4, 5, 6, and slowly relax it. And all the way up, crunch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Then we're gonna crunch up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Crunch up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. The last 2, let's breathe into. So we're gonna really push everything out through our mouth as we contract and we go into flexion, and then through the nose as we come back to neutral. So blow out through the mouth. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then in through the nose, out through the mouth. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then through the nose. And relax. Perfect. So we went through all the different positions, light isometrics with breathing, okay? So hopefully as we went through this, the back, if your back was a little stiff today, started to loosen up a little bit. If you want to take this a little bit further, you can either go through this whole segment one more time. And again, staying around that 6 rep range with about a 6-second hold. I do like think that if you do the breathing stuff, it helps. I don't know about you, but when I actually really concentrate on my breathing, I can feel that I get more flexion, okay? Make sure you're breathing through that process. So even though we're going all the way out into flexion and breathing through the nose on the way back, make sure you're taking some time in between reps. We don't need you hyperventilating, okay? As you get better at this, it becomes easier to do multiple reps without feeling like you can't catch your breath. So if you need to, go back through that again and see how that feels. Now, if your back feels pretty good, what I want you to do is I actually just want you to finish up with some sit-ups, okay? If you can do full sit-ups, do full sit-ups. If you need something to anchor your feet so that your feet aren't flying up, try to get a couple sit-ups with your feet anchored, okay? But if you can't do either one of those, then make sure we're getting our mid back off the ground just a little bit. So, for example, if I wanted to go full sit-up, I'd go knees bent, come all the way up, and then as I come down, I'm trying to bring the lower segment of my back to the ground first, and then get extension, so it's like an accordion. Same thing on the way up. You'll notice how my shoulders come up first, so it's like a crunch, 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 and then all the way up. And then crunch, 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 crunch. all the way down. If you need something under your feet because you can't anchor your lower half as much, go ahead and try that. I'd rather you be able to control that motion as slowly as possible than just trying to bang out 10 or 12 by using momentum. Okay. If you can't do any, that's okay too. Okay. We can start by getting a good crunch where we get ever so slightly off the ground. So this was our isometric, but if I can get slightly up and then back down, notice I'm getting here on the isometric, but I'm getting slightly up if I really engage and try to get a little higher. So if that's your setup, that's okay. That's just a progression to finally being able to get a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. All right. There's other things that we can prop underneath our backs too eventually that can make that transition a little bit easier, but just try it out and see how it feels. And when you're done, just go back through and go through each position, just two to four reps each position, just see how that trunk actually moves a little bit better. Or is it still a little bit stiff? Was those, if you tried the sit-ups, were the sit-ups a little too much? And maybe you need to go back and do some of the isometrics a little bit more to open that trunk up a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed core prep today, all flexion. We went extension last week, flexion. We'll do some rotation next week. So we'll start to stack some things on one another as we continue to do this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope you're able to go back through this. And I hope it makes that lower back feel a little bit better if you came in today a little bit stiff. If not, and you felt great, awesome. Hopefully this makes you feel even better. So until next time, guys, I will see you on Tuesday for upper body prep. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.